WarGreymon has entered the picture 30 episodes into the Digimon Adventure remake. That's right, not a silhouette WarGreymon like in episode 5 or the golden prototype WarGreymon like episode 24, the official WarGreymon, from back in the day, just with a couple big changes. For those who aren't watching the show just yet or are a few episodes behind, the Digidestined kids are in a new section of the digital world but were recently split up. Kari was taken by a mysterious Digimon named Skull Knightmon who's carrying the crystallized form of what we believe will be the late series villain, Millenniummon. Tai and Agumon's solo journey took them to a forest full of Wudamon, Budmon, and a single special Lopmon, but they soon met up with Sora and Biomon. At the end of last week, Parrotmon showed up and Tai entrusted Sora to take the vulnerable Digimon and protect them, while he and Agumon tried to take down this Parrotmon. Metal Greymon and Parrotmon, they exchange blows, but it seems Metal Greymon doesn't even have the upper hand, not even after using the Alteros mode upgrade, when Parrotmon gets a surge of energy and is able to take on a Megaform, Crossmon. This thing obliterates Tai and Metal Greymon, but just before they're destroyed for good, Tai finds himself in this world between worlds, with his crest of courage shining brightly in between himself and where Crossmon was coming from. My interpretation of this scene is that the crest of courage was acting like a shield, both saving Tai and Agumon in that moment, but also serving as a reflection of the very action Tai and Agumon were performing in this scene, being a shield to protect Sora, Piomon, and Lopmon's group. In a kind of nice way, this also felt like a callback to episode 10 when Tai and Greymon went toe-to-toe with Metal Tyrannomon, and they just kept getting up over and over and over again. It felt bizarre back then, but seeing them in this same position now made it feel to me like the show was trying to say this is who Taichi and Agumon are. They won't back down and they won't stay down. After waking up and talking a bit, they reflect on their memories throughout the series so far. The English subtitles deliver this amazing line, "We still have a lot of things to accomplish." After a chain of evolution sequences from Agumon to Greymon, then Greymon to Metal Greymon, we go for round 2 with Crossmon and get this amazing new WarGreymon animation sequence accompanied by a new track, Break the Chain. I can tell you right now, I am going to have no problem watching this evolution sequence play out in future episodes because it's completely gorgeous. WarGreymon comes out of his evolution and he is massive. There's one difference between this WarGreymon and 1999 WarGreymon is that they've decided to make him Omnimon sized or possibly even bigger. Tai is honestly only about as big as WarGreymon's eye. This leads me to wonder if Metal Garurumon will also be gigantic. We saw silhouettes of the other megas in episode 5 and I thought they were giant just for dramatic effect, but maybe they were to scale in that scene with Sora and Tai. So WarGreymon is of course able to destroy Crossmon, and the episode ends shortly after with Lopmon, Biomon, and Sora staring at the glorious WarGreymon, doing laps in the air, and Taichi waving at them. I felt pretty happy seeing Taichi waving and smiling ear to ear. It kind of reminded me that this is still a kid's show after all, and it was checking the boxes of that fantasy of having your own awesome monster friend. It makes me happy to know kids are going to watch this scene and think WarGreymon is the coolest thing they've ever seen and imagine themselves in Tai's shoes. Overall, it's a really strong episode in my opinion. I know some people are going to draw comparisons to the original and take issue with certain factors. For instance, the 1999 series, WarGreymon was only possible with the help of the Angels and also was required to face a villain who had been in the picture for many episodes at that point. So it was a bit weird in comparison that 1, Tai and Agumon could achieve this new form independently, and 2, more importantly to me at least, that it was needed to beat an enemy who only appeared and was defeated in the span of 1 episode. I sort of thought WarGreymon might be the culmination of this arc, maybe used to defeat Skull Knightmon and save Kari a few episodes from now. But it's been clear since episode 1 that this show is doing its own thing, and the reality is the original show still exists and is arguably more easy to watch than ever thanks to streaming services. So if you're someone who feels that kids are now getting a lesser version of the story, which is a subjective opinion, keep in mind, if those kids like what they see in this show, they or their parents can find more by turning on the 1999 series on streaming. In other words, I'm just happy that this show is kind of doing its own thing rather than being a cut and paste of the original show. But now it's your turn. Let me know what you thought about this WarGreymon debut in the comments. What do you think about his size? About the cause of his transformation? About how this moment compared to the 1999 moment? I'm going to read all these comments as always, so subscribe if you haven't already so we can keep chatting every time there's a new Digimon episode. Oh, and if this is my last video of 2020, I wanted to say thanks so much for watching and supporting this channel and really keeping me company through this really crappy year. I started the channel in April literally as a weekend hobby since I couldn't go out and see friends, and I did not expect it to pick up the way it did. Around summer, I made the goal for myself of hitting 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It was a goal I didn't actually think I'd hit, and yet here we are at 3,700 subscribers at the time of me writing this. So just thanks for being awesome and coming back and leaving awesome comments every week. Tell your friends if you think they would like the channel. So happy New Year everyone, and I'll see you next episode. Peace.